to your virtual class students. Today we are going to do your next chapter from your book Snapshot, Chapter 3, Ranga's Marriage by Musti Venkatashil Iyengar. He was a well-known writer in Kannada language. He was the fourth among Kannada writers to be honored with the Jnanpith Award, the highest literary honor conferred in India. He was popularly referred to as Masti Kannada Asti, which means Masti is Kannada's treasure. He is most renowned for his short stories he wrote under the pen name Srinivasa. He was honored with the title Raja Srisgatha by then Maharaja of Mysore Nalavadi, Krishna Raja Vadeyar. This chapter is about Ranga, the main character. The accountant's son is one of the rare breed among the village folk who has been to the city to pursue his studies. When he returns to his village from the city of Bangalore, the crowds mill around his house to see whether he has changed or not. His ideas about marriage are now quite different, or are they? The main characters of the story are Shama, who is the narrator of the story, and the residents of a village called Yoshali. The whole story revolves around this village. Ranga, this accountant's son, who used to live in that Hoshali village but went to study in Bangalore. Ranga is a boy who went to Bangalore to study. Ratna, she is Rama Rao's niece. The narrator Shama of the story belongs to Vaishali village in the erstwhile Mysore state in South India. He narrates a story that happened 10 years ago. In those days, there were not many people in the village who knew English, nor did they bring in English words while talking in Kannada. Even words like change were not very current among people. The village accountant was the first one who had enough courage to send his son Ranga to Bangalore for study. Let's start with the summary. Ranga's Marriage by Masti Venkateshwar Iyengar is a story about a boy who returns to his village after receiving education in English medium from Bangalore. The boy is the son of the accountant of the village. They live in the village Goshali near Mysore. The boy, when returns, the whole village floods over him to see if there is any change in his personality. However, to their dismay, he still has the same eyes and mouth and everything else. The whole crowd gathered in front of his house just to see that whether he has changed or not. He did the traditional namaskara and all dispersed. The story is a first person narrative and a major portion of the story is in flashback. The speaker directly addresses the reader. The narrator is a neighbor of the protagonist. He introduced the story with a difference by first giving a detailed description of their village Vaishali. He praises the mangoes from his village. He asks the reader if she or he has ever heard of this village. He replies to the question himself, for the village was not located in any of the maps for the English Babas and the ones in our country, because the cartographers had forgot to put this village in the map. Then he introduces Ranga, the protagonist, in a time 10 years ago. Ranga had gone to Bangalore for studies and returned home after 6 months. It was the time when English was a language not and a few people used it. All used to converse in Kannada language. All the villagers arrived at Ranga's place and began scrutinizing him. To their dismay, he was still the same old Ranga and they left disappointed. However, the narrator stayed back and shared a few jokes with the boy and then left. Later in the afternoon, Ranga arrived at narrator's house with a few oranges. The narrator judged the boy and felt it to marry such a well-educated and humble boy. However, Ranga had no plans to settle as a married man. He put his views on marriage in front of the narrator that he wanted to get married to a girl who is mature and someone Rangappa could admire. Ranga left after the discussion, and the narrator decided then that he would get the boy married. Determined, he began considering Rama Rao's niece, who used to live in that same village, Hushali, niece Ratna, as a suitable bride for Ranga. She was from a big town and knew how to play veena and harmonium. He came up with a plan. He asked Ramarao's wife to send Ratna to his place to fetch some buttermilk. He requested Ratna to sing and sent for Ranga. Ranga reached the narrator's place and stopped outside the room, as he did not want to disrupt the singing but was curious to see her face. So he peeped in. Ratna noticed the stranger and stopped abruptly. Ranga came in and the girl left. Curiously, he inquired about the girl and narrator cleverly played at his words. He told Ranga that the girl was married off a year ago and noticed that the disappointment flaring Ranga's face. He was infatuated to the girl. The narrator was happy as his plan was working. As his next step, the next day, the narrator took Ranga to an astrologer whom he had already tutored what to say. It was a meeting with the astrologer when the narrator's name is disclosed. Shama, he was. The astrologer pretended to read the natal chart of Rangappa and declared that the boy was in love with a girl who had a name of something found in the ocean. Shama said it could be Ratna, Ramarao's niece. Ranga's smile was not hidden from Shama. But the girl was married. After they came from astrologers, the narrator took the boy to Ramarao's house and asked him to wait outside. When he came outside, he confirmed that the girl was not married, that there had been some confusion. After all, the narrator had to come up with something. Even Ranga then admitted that he had been attracted to that girl. Later, a conversation between the astrologer and the narrator is described how the astrologer says that though the narrator had given him some clues, he could have found it all out by himself through astrology. Then we saw the story moves forward 10 years, or to say returns to the present. Rangappa came one day to the narrator, inviting him at his son Shama's third birthday. Obviously, Ratna and Ranga had been married, and now they have a 3-year-old son whom Ranga named after the narrator, that is Shama. So Ranga and Ratna now they are married and it's been 3 years. They had a son who's now 3 years and they had put the name of that son Shama because of Shama they both got married. The theme of the story is the conflict between tradition and modernity. Ranga's marriage is a conflict between traditional thought and modern thought, and it is shown in the form of the acceptance of arranged marriage. Arranged marriage is old fashioned, and Ranga strongly believes in this. Thank you. I hope you all have understood this chapter.